Podcast. Hello and welcome to my podcast. So in today's podcast, we're going to be talking about, we're going to do something a little different. I wrote something and I wanted to share the love. I know by the time you're going to be listening to this, I think the blog is coming at the end of the week. But we're Monday because this is for Monday. Yay, happy Monday, unless something changed over the weekend. You never know. This one should be posted, so that would be the first for the week. Hopefully, who knows? Cannot say anything because sometimes I get some very interesting recording happening during the weekend and I might be switching things around, but who cares? It's just the fun of it. So let's talk about leadership communication, because that to me is something that is close to my heart, or lately has been close to my heart. So let's get started. Leadership is always the most challenging part of being a leader. Yes, how do we communicate with others? Being mindful so everyone can hear the message without feeling they are being set up. However, this is something that not everyone is practicing. That is so true. If you think about it, not everybody practice that gift set. So that little skill set, not a gift set. It's a gift. So at some point, some people are very good with it and some need practice. Again, to become a master on something, you have to practice. It doesn't all. When it landed on your lap, you have to realize, am I a good leader or not? So those are questions, and we need to be honest with our own self, because it's easy to say, well, I'm that good, but sometimes we are not. Sometimes we are not as good as we think we are, but that's all right. This is how life works. So learning how to communicate with people is essential. It means that not everything we would like to say to someone will be told. Yes, it is. Yes. I know for someone that is direct like me, I have learned to bite my tongue before speaking. It is useful, actually. I must say, there is some days I shake my head and it's all in my head and I have a movie and I'm like, holy moly, I'm going to just say what I got to say. And sometimes it's like, well, no, don't even. Also, writing blogs, doing podcasts has helped me to be mindful. Again, mindful means being aware of how and what the words mean that I am using. I have at some point had to deal with unruly individual that would have deserved a rude response. Instead of using tact and focusing on the issue and not the emotion, because we don't have to include the emotion when we're responding. It helps to deliver the message. Learning to be aware of our actions helps to shape the leader within us. Staying open to the life of 1,000 is what we are looking for. It is an amazing transformation we are going through, if it is always done at our own pace. No need to feel everything must be done right away or learning immediately. Instead, we need to bring the awareness on our own. This is part of the awakening process we're going through. Back to leadership and communication. Improving ourselves helps us to be understood. It is not a perfect process, but that is part of the learning curve. We are always a story in motion, reinventing ourselves. This is how we can transport or transform our life to a better place. I truly believe we can create the world we have always wanted to have. It is worth the challenges, and we can do it. Being present in our life is the journey of transformation. So let's talk about leadership and communication, because for me, communication is something that is, as I said, close to my heart. Learning that, moving from position to position is great. But when you're a green, aka a kid that get out of university, sorry, some people say, oh, well, I'm a young adult. Well, but you're still a kid in one way, because you have not gone through all of the ringers that some of the veterans like me and a lot of us have gone through. But there is the growth, there is the maturity that comes with it. And it doesn't matter if you have done communication classes or not. Experience, this is what's going to help you and shape who you are. Now we can try to challenge others, but sometimes we need to look at how do we deliver our messages. Some individuals will overreact on some messages and some will not understand the message we're trying to convey to them. Words are essential. Words are the key. Now, in order to ensure we are not misleading people, we are not providing things that people are lacking, we need to ensure that we are being understood. Because my interpretation of the words can be different of somebody else's listening to me. That we don't think about. So when we are learning as a leader, because leadership is who we are, then we are becoming who we are meant to become and empower all of us. The life of 1,000 is a life of transformation. It's a life of moving in a world of wonders. It's a life of becoming who we're supposed to become. But leadership starts with us. It doesn't mean you need to be at the head of a billion-dollar corporation. It means leadership. We are in a driver's seat of our own lives. Then you're poor like dirt or not. You're still in the driver's seat. Unless you give it up for somebody else's or les aléas de la vie to take over and just be an observer in your life. But leadership starts with us. A lot of people don't understand the word leadership because we always put the word leadership associated with corporation, with management. And in reality, it's not. Leadership is how do we act? Are we done to react or are we going to act in a way that we can be the 2.0 version of our own self? When we're able and capable to understand what leadership means, that means I'm in control of my life. It doesn't mean I control the outer conditions, because I'm telling you, if you want to try to control that, then you're micromanaging and you're going to give yourself an ulcer because you're never going to be able to control anything that's going on in your life. To be honest with you, it's impossible. And if you do it, then I wish you good luck, because that to me is one of the most challenging. You're only in control of how do you respond. That is in a fly or fight mode, or it is a very plain, calculated response. Communication is something we're all lacking. And if somebody say, oh, that's not true, I'm a great communicator, then ding, 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 think twice. Doing podcast has provided to me one of the major keys on how to communicate. It helped me to continue to perfect the arts of communication. Am I perfect at it? Oh, freak no. I would be a hypocrite if I was said to you, oh, Mile, yes, I am so good at it. I'm like, yeah, you're full of it, Emma. Go back home, sleep on it, and realize, no, it's not happening. You need to realize as a leader, you need to realize as someone who provide this communication, that you have to be mindful. I explained the story. I love to tell that story because I think it's a great one. Maybe one day over the rainbow, if I feel like to have, oh yes, I probably will, because I said to Christine, who's the ghostwriter, she will be writing my books. So I cannot say I'm not. Write about it. But you realize that when you are starting to write blogs, and that's for the younger generation as well, okay? The venting, the ranting, do it yourself. Facebook, unless you get a private group, is not there to put all of your personal luggage out, your baggage. How you're pissed off because somebody did not do this. Stop that. Privacy, people. Okay? We don't need to read this, because if you have a hiring manager and you expose all of your dirty down laundry, and they do research on everybody, by the way, we all go to social media and check it out. That will be a lie, because people will check social media. Now, when you realize those tools are there to communicate, but not all of your dirty laundry, that would be helpful to know that. But post something that is inspiring, okay? Use this to do something good, to connect with others, to show maybe you worked on a project that could be very helpful and inspired others. Now, when you're talking about leadership, again, when you're green, quote unquote, you have few years into the work, then you realize that, okay, in order for me to become a manager, because I know a lot of people, the old and that should be banned, actually. The old, oh, what are you going to do in 5 years? So we're going to project our life and say, okay, I'm going to start somewhere and I'm going to run so fast, then I'm going to be moving up to manager, to this and that. So stop to plan this, okay? One thing you need to learn is the basics. Basics comes with experience. Learning skill sets. So instead of always wanting something like the donkey and the carrot and the donkey, either way, focus on what you got to learn. Learn the craft. Learn your job. Learn what others are doing. I was speaking with somebody actually that was very interesting a couple of days ago, and they asked me, and I said, well, you know what? I learned most of the stuff I learned, it was on the job. It's not behind a desk sitting and wasting my time to listen to a teacher. It was learning on the job. But I did not stop at learning on the job. What I did, I expanded my skill set because I inquired about what others were doing. How does it impact me? How do I fit into that big puzzle? Then I started to study companies, how companies are running, observing them. See what works, see what doesn't work, see what was redundant, see where the waste of money were happening. I observed all of them, and I've done that for million and billion-dollar company, from baby one to huge one. And looking at it and said, okay, this is not working. See the missed opportunities. You have no idea how many missed opportunities people have. It's unbelievable. So when you're thinking about it, you're like, oh my God, that's interesting. I would like to know this. I would like to continue to evolve. When you gain all of those skill sets, then one of them that has been seeing it since day one, when I put my foot over 2 decades ago here in corporate world, the first thing I said was, there is a lack of communication. Nobody is communicating. The concept of I'm not going to share or communicate with you information because I'm going to block you because I think I have power is more destructive to the company. It doesn't help. It doesn't help the progress. It doesn't help anything. When you understand that, then now it's how do you deliver the message? How do you communicate with your team or with people amongst your peer? How do you communicate? Those are very important key for people to understand, to be there and really know how to communicate. A keynote speaker is somebody who can communicate at a level that will interest people, that will grab attentions. Okay? Now, I used different tools. Like I said at the beginning, I did the blogs where I consciously, if I said it right in English, I don't know. I'm not going to cut it, actually. What I'm saying right now, I'm not cutting it. So we'll see if that makes any sense. It's like, am I creating new words? I do. I will come up probably one day with a full dictionary of Emma's world and Emma's word. The world of Emma through the words. That's what I should call it. Maybe I have a book for Kristen to do. But thinking about the communication, thinking about, okay, if you start to write blogs, what do you want to say? What are the intent? Teaching life lessons, sharing stories that happened for people who are reading it, can connect with, or maybe they have something similar happening to them and say, oh, well, that make me think. I feel better now because I know somebody has been going through that as well. 1, 2, looking at it and just said, okay, that's interesting. You know, that's something new. That's something I did not even thought about it. And it's like, okay, now I got it. The other thing too, because words means a lot for everybody. You know, scars, we always said, you know, and that's not taking things lightly. Physical abuse, you can see the scars. Emotional abuse, you don't. They're invisible. When you learn to communicate, you need to understand the power of the words because they are as destructive, even more, than the physical abuse. When you're in a leadership position, you have to have the understanding of the awareness of the words. What am I trying to communicate? What is the intent of that conversation? This is key. This is power. And I have a dog here, Lulu, who's creating a problem here. Kiddo, you let me do my first podcast and then we have a conversation. It's the problem when you got visitor in your house, like an extra dog who come and visit for the day, and he goes and turn you cuckoo for Cocoa Puff. And so is everybody else's, because he has been after everything that moves right or wrong at you. I should videotape the kids. Seriously, you'll be laughing. So, communication is a skill. Writing the blogs, posting on any social media, remind us to be aware and mindfulness of the words. If you're angry, don't write it. Don't. When I'm angry, I am not writing anything. Or if I do, I will put the intent of what am I trying to convey. So it doesn't sound too harsh, but it will tell a story. I have done that. The other part of it are the podcast. I think the podcast has really, I will say, empower me to communicate and really learn how to take the time to communicate. Again, mindfulness. What am I trying to say? Is it something I'm going to be retaliating, venting, ranting against somebody? Or do I'm going to be sharing a story that is not that funny, but it's all about the communication. What is the intent? Live session that I've done, like on wisdom, same thing. This is live. There is no unwind, rewind, stop, froze, cut. Like here, I'm recording, so I can stop, cut, remove, add, do whatever I want, and then I published. When you become live, you do live streaming, there is no safety net at all. It's all live. Again, it's where you continue to learn communication. We should have communication like leadership. We should have all of it in school. And unfortunately, we don't. Or it has to be at the university level, where it should be in kindergarten level, not university level. But from kindergarten through university, through trade school, these should be skills that should be mastered. There is a lot of people who have a lot to share in their stories, but they don't know how to communicate. So, if you don't know how, then you start to lay out your story on a paper or on a computer and start to share it. And the more you practice, the better you will become at it. That, to me, leader skill and leadership should go hand on hand with communication. Being a good leader is to be able to take care of our own self. It starts with us. It doesn't start with a business. It doesn't start with a position as a VP, manager, whatever you want to be called in. The title doesn't make the person. It's your ego playing at that time. Who you are is your spirit. A title, who gives a crap? Seriously, think about it. I know a lot of people are driven by their title. Oh, I want to become this because I want everybody to be respecting me. And it's like, yeah, but that's your ego talking. That's not your spirit. People will respect each other's, not because you got a title, but because you're authentic, because you create something that is new, because the magic you create, because the way you communicate is the key. When you understand that, then you have a better chance to communicate the messages you want to others. That, to me, is the essential key for a successful world we're living in. We're being challenged left and right. Oh my goodness, yes, we are. I would be a liar if I wasn't saying that. But at the end of the day, the magic resides within our heart. The magic resides with ourselves. The magic is who we truly are. And as beautiful than we are, That's what it's all about. So co-creating, embracing the world of magic, being who we truly are in such a beautiful way, having that creativity, that world of wonders, everything we need at the fingertip, and let us be the magician by learning to communicate. Again, there is some days we're going to communicate very well, and there is some days we're probably going to flunk it like, oh boy, I should have stayed in bed because this is even worse than anything else. So think about that. Think about the world of wonders. Think about who we are and what we can do. That's what it's all about. And remember, you are a leader in your own life, no matter what. So this was our podcast for today. I have no idea, actually, to be honest with you, what is going to be the next podcast, because I just picked it up, this one, from what I wrote. And I felt inspired to have a conversation with the universe and myself in regard of leadership. So we'll see what will be on the next podcast. Otherwise, if you need to connect with me, you know where to find me. If not, it's on www.edg-associates.com. Otherwise, you can find me and connect with me on Twitter at Emma DiGallo, one word. Same on LinkedIn, same on Facebook. And on Instagram, it's only the dogs. It's so food. It's not about leadership. It's not about this. So and that was Lulu barking. Awesome. So have a beautiful day. We'll talk to you later. Bye now.